Seems like he's just pretending.
Hey, what's up my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the fans' hobby, Armour Eagle. So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. On the background there we have Space. Hi, how are you? And we have Armour Eagle there in both of his modes, all three of his modes actually. Armour Eagle! On this side we have Armour Eagle, on this side we have more of the Eagle of Armour. Up top, Armour Eagle, on the bottom, Armour Eagle. On the back of the box, you have some obligatory product shots, this, that, thing, stuff, and things, and that is basically it for the packaging. Also included is the collector's card with Armour Eagle. On the back, you have tech specs. If that interests you, hooray for cards. And moving right along, here we have Armour Eagle, and this is Fans Hobby's take on Metalhawk from Super God Master Force. And here he is in his robot mode. He is packed in robot mode. And a pretty good looking bot mode here, but let's get in close so we can take a look at that metal crotch, at the noggin. There's the noggin. I will say this, I'm not a fan of the face sculpt. Not really a fan of it. It just looks a little, I don't know, looks a little flat, a little featureless, I don't know. The face is not doing it for me, but you got some nice coloration there on the eyes. Got little horns there, they are movable. And you got some silver there in those pylons. Some gold and red there in the chest. Just a lot of blue, a lot of yellow. Gray, more red, more blue, more red. There right there's these. And move it back. Got the metal booty. And very clean back. You just got the wings back there. So, all in all, other than the face that I'm not crazy about, still good looking Metalhawk. Now, articulation-wise, what have we got? I shall inform you of such. The head, I think, is on a ball joint. You get a little bit of wiggly-waggly. He can look up some. He can look down. The head can do a full 360. Again, his little horns here can move forward and back some if you need them to. The arms, if you get the wings out of the way, can rotate. Can do a full 360 on a nice ratchet. Outward. Again, on a nice ratchet, you do get rotation right above the elbow. You do have a double jointed elbow. You have a joint like high up here and then one at the elbow proper. Although it still only gives him 90 degrees of bend, but you got a couple joints to work with. You can move his arms back if you need them to. You know, things you can do if you want to do it. You do have wrist rotation. You got some posable fingies here. The thumb is just on a ball joint at the base. Can move up and down and can rotate. The fingers are on a ball joint at the base, and you have two hinges on each finger. You do have waist rotation. Move the hip skirts out of the way, so the legs can move forward that far, back that far, outward, full splits, and then some. You get thigh rotation. You get single jointed knee, but you get 90 degrees of bend there. You do have a little panel here, a little spring-loaded panel. It just moves out of the way, just to give you that extra bit of movement. Again, it's not really an extra bit of movement. You still get only 90 degrees, but just to make sure you get that 90 degrees. As far as the feet, they can't move up, but they can move down. No rotation, but you do have, well, not really ankle tiltage. You get more like toe tiltage. And you can move that heel up and down some if you need it to support any posing. Now, as far as accessories go, we get a sword here with the blade done in a nice silver, handles done in a light gray. A nice little sword there. We do get a big old blaster here, done in blue with the red wings. I love the metallic red that they added here on this edge. Just makes for a nice contrast there to the red plastic. I like how that looks with the little thrusters there on the back. But you got his weapon there. And we get a bunch of pretender shell pieces. I'll show off how all of that works in a little bit. And we also get a sticker sheet. So if you want to make him look more G1 toy, you can apply these stickers. I don't know if I'll put these on. Probably not. But hey, you have the option. And as always, options are good. But that is everything we get with Armour Eagle. Now as far as the weapons go, it's just the lovely little track method that I absolutely love, and I'll say it again, I would love it if more companies incorporated that method of weapon holding into their figures, because it just works that solid. I love it. But there you go. You get pew pew, hack hack, pew pew, stab stab, and all of that good stuff. Also, you can reposition the wings if you want. If you don't like the swept down look, you can just rotate all of this around, and just a case of getting all these sections sitting where they need to be sitting. But you can totally have the wings swept up. If you want that look, as always, you have the option. Options are what? You know what they are. They're good. Now, as far as the Pretender shell parts go, we'll start putting those on. So we have these leg pieces, so they just unclip. And there is a right and a left because it has to go around the fins here. So you just take that and clip that around his legs. And then you have the crotch plate. So his crotch can pretend to be a different crotch. That just clips on like so. You then take the forearm pieces and they will just clip right over the existing forearms. And then you bring in the chest piece. That just clips right on. You got the shoulder pads. They do have this detail. You want this detail facing the back. So those just drop right down onto his shoulders. And last but not least, I'll form the head. And you just take the two halves and just clip it around his head like so. And you're done. Then there you have the Pretender all pretending out. And yeah, it looks good. It does look quite good. I dig it. I dig it. It works out quite nicely. But let's get in close so we can take a look not at that metal crotch, at this metal noggin. Oh, that's a noggin, all right. But yeah, that's a pretty good face sculpt. It looks nice and anime. You can have him on the shelf just staring at you with those eyes that are dull and listless from the long fatigue of a weary life. Fun, but yeah. Oh no, looks pretty good. Again, you got the nice bright red and yellows. You got some silvers, got metal grays in there. Nice silver crotch, nice silver paints going down the legs. You know, just kind of beefs them up. It looks pretty cool, and you don't really lose any articulation. Your articulation pretty much remains the same. The only thing you will have to do is there's a little yellow panel right here. You do have to kind of bring that down just so you can get that waist turning, and it may push the this crotch plate out a little bit, but you can still get that waist turning. So other than that, you don't really lose any articulation. He still retains all of his movement. So all in all, pretty nice. So there you have that, and now for comparison. Here he is with Masterpiece Prime. As you can see how they look together. And here he is with the Masterpiece Gold Jinrai. As you can see how that works out. And here he is with the only other Metalhawk that I own, which is the Legacy version. You can see how they look together. So, there you go. So that is basically it for the robot mode, and he looks really good, except for the face sculpt. Again, I'm not a fan of the face sculpt, but another issue I have with this figure is that it's really light. This is a really light figure. You know, it's kind of a weird thing to say, but he feels flimsy yet solid, if that makes any sense. Like, the plastic quality is still good. It's still the same plastic that Fans Hobby uses. It feels nice and, you know, and strong and sturdy. There's just less of it. There's just not a lot of plastic here, and he just feels really light. But, you know, but it's, like I said, it still feels like good quality plastic. There's just not a lot of it here. But anyway, let's get down to transformation, shall we? Let's. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up this panel here on the inside of the forearm, like so. You want to make sure that the hand is balled up in a fist. You want to make sure that the thumb is on the side. And that will just tuck right into the forearm. Close that up, and then you're going to take the arm, make sure it's straight, and just collapse that up, like so. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. And once the second verse has been firsted, you want to then open up the chest. You can bring this little panel down here just so you have clearance. This chest panel's on a double hinge here, so you want to just bring all this out as far as it'll go. You want to bring these wings down, get them out of the way so you can open up this back panel. And once you've done that, you just want to take this section and just swing it up. And you want to leave it at an angle like this so you can then open this section up. And there's also a little panel here you want to flip down, because that will give you the clearance to flip out the nose cone here. And once you've done that, you can then take the two halves, close that up. You can now close up this panel, and you can close up this little panel here. It just fills in those gaps. And then you can bring that up. You can take this back panel and close that up. So now you want to open up this little panel here. This is also on multiple hinges, so you just want to extend this up as far as it'll go. So you can take the landing gear and just pass that through, bring that down, rotate it, and then you can just close this back up, and then you can close the chest back up. You want to make sure that these hinges here collapse upward. So get those hinges moving, and there we go. Get that closed up so it's looking like that. So now you just want to take these wings and just kind of get them up and out of the way. You also want to flip up the front and side skirt panels here. And now we can work on the legular region. So what you're going to do here is you're going to take the foot and just bring this up and over like so. Get these fins out of the way. You got this panel here. You're going to flip up. Then you're going to open up the leg. And now you want to bend the knee to 90 degrees, and you want to slide it back, and then rotate it the rest of the way. So it's sitting like that, and second verse just like the first. And once that's done, you can close these up. You can now bring these skirt panels down, bring that down, bring that down, and you can take these fins here and just bring that up. Bring that up, and we got that part done. So again, get the wings out of your way. We want to take the arms here and extend them out. Let's extend out like so, and just bring them out like so. Get them out of the way, and you want to take this section of the chest and slide it down. Get that slid down, and get that slid down like so. So now for the wings, you want to get this square section seated in this notch right in here. So just get everything rotated around so everything just drops where it needs to drop. And this just takes a bit of strategizing here, but it works out. There we go. Then that just drops right down and sits flush like that. And you have your wings in place. So now you want to take the arms, bring them back. There's a tab right here. It's going to go into this slot right there. Just bring that down and just tab that in. Bring that up, bring that down, and tab that in. We'll come under here. We have some landing gear to flip out as well. So just bring that down, rotate the wheel, bring that down, rotate the wheel. So now we got to bring the blaster in because this is going to finish off the jet mode look here. So we're going to take these sections and rotate them up. You want to take the barrel, collapse that in, flip that in, and then collapse the handle in. And you got that chunk looking like that. And this is just going to slot in back here. So you want to come in like at an angle so those thrusters sit where they need to go. And then just slide that forward. And we'll just tab in. There's little tabs on either side right here. So just get that lined up and pushed in. Then you want to take these red sections and rotate them. And that will further lock this in place. And there you go. There you have Armour Eagle, aka Metalhawk, in his alt mode. Not a bad spin. But there he is in his alt mode. And a pretty cool looking jet mode, in my opinion. I can work with it. I like it. Not too shabby. But let's get in close here so we can take a look at the details. You can see some nice metallic red paint there for the cockpits. And again, I love the metallic red right next to the red plastic. Again, makes for a really nice contrast there. You have that in the tail fin as well. Oh no, looks pretty good. You got those thrusters there in the back. Gunmetal gray. Yeah, there is the top. There is the bottom. You know, you got visible chest and, you know, other stuff, but everything compacts up pretty well. He does have little rolling wheels. He kind of rolls. I don't know if he's rolling so much as sliding. The wheels do roll, but they don't seem to roll all that freely, so he might be more sliding than rolling, but still, it keeps him off the ground. Hooray for sliding, rolling, flying things. Then, for comparison, here he is with a Masterpiece Seeker. Just so you can see how that works out. Whoosh. And here he is with the Legacy Metalhawk. So you can see how they look together. So, there you go. Now as far as the sword can store in the jet mode. You just have a tab right here. It's going to go into this little slot right here. You have little tabs that are going to go into this slot here as well. Just line that up, plug that on, and there you have your storage. Hooray for storage. So there you have Armour Eagle, and yeah, a pretty nicely done figure. You know, my only qualm with the robot mode is just the face sculpt. Again, not a fan of the face sculpt. I think it's cool that you get the pieces so you can make the Pretender shell, so I really dig that. As I mentioned earlier in the video, you know, the plastic quality still feels good. There's just not a lot of it there, so he feels very light. Pretty straightforward transformation, so it's an enjoyable experience getting him from mode to mode. While I do wish the face sculpt was a bit better, and while I do wish the figure just felt a little bit more robust, all in all, it's still nicely done. It's still a solid figure, all things considered, so there you go. Now you can pick this up from TF Safari. I'll put a link to their site in the description down below so you can check that out. You can also check out the third-party Transformers playlist for any reviews you may have missed. Also linked in the description down below so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it, so don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love, Peace, Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the Fans Hobby Armour Eagle, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud, palm in your face. Look, I'm sorry, but you just don't meet the requirements to be a part of this team. I'm really sorry, but thank you for applying, though. Oh, no, that's fine. Thank you for your consideration, though. Send in the next candidate. Hi, hello, I'm the new candidate. You seem familiar in some way. No, I am a completely different person than the one you just saw. Are you sure about that? Yes, why would I lie? Oh, excuse me, two! Oh, sorry about that. What happened to your face? Oh, scrap!